Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. In this episode of Coaching Uncut, I'm speaking with a client who's feeling frustrated and overwhelmed with her business, and it's building some resentment. Listen in to hear how I coach her on how to move easily from resentment back into flow. The trick is taking 100% personal responsibility. I also decided to outline this process and put it into a downloadable PDF for you. If you want a copy of that, listen to the end where I share the link to download it for free. Okay, let's get started.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How am I? And what do I need?
I don't know.
I know. No, I know.
That was rhetorical.
Here's the thing. Like, I stop myself sometimes because in my head I coach myself, or I criticize myself more like it. Like, okay, why am I, don't go into complaining. So that's the thing that's happening in the back of my head. The front of it is, yeah, things are going good. Going well. I've got my lead magnet out there. I launched my, website into the world. Obviously, that's going to take more than one message, but I posted on LinkedIn for the first time, which was like a coming out party. Definitely getting attention. Funny enough, got some new signups to my email list, and like 3 of them were men, which was really funny to me. So all this is going, and I'm connecting back with this week, and I have other breakthrough type calls scheduled for this week. So it's happening, but at the same time, I have this feeling of frustration, which I think is born of me feeling frustrated with being ineffective at consistently making offers and closing people. I don't like that, closing, but you know what I mean, enrolling people.
So tell me, is the issue, when you say effective, do you mean that you're not, be clear here, are you not closing enough of the people you're talking to, or are you not talking to enough people?
I think it's both. So I'm on the path, and I am getting back to my webinar ad campaign. I'm picking that back up in earnest this week. I know we talked about it a week ago, but I got headlong into doing the lead magnet, doing all the comms for that, and creating my content for my my 4th week of program content. So it just didn't happen. But I am coming back to that, and that's going to be important in terms of getting more people to talk to, because I feel like my efforts on the reach out referrals, which I'm sticking with. I'm not giving that up by any means, but I don't feel like it's yielding the volume that I need to give myself a fair chance. And then when I do make offers, obviously I have closed several people, so I don't want to overblow it. And I even, depending on what time frame you're looking at, it was almost a 30% enrollment rate, which is, great. I think the problem comes when I don't have enough opportunities, then I can have more no's right away, or it's I'm rambling, Amira. It's nothing new. I'm just going through that whole pattern of like, you know, dealing with people's objections. And I guess the sort of guilty admission that I have for you is, you know, and I know I have to get out of resentment, but it's that feeling of frustration. I think I'm more frustrated with myself, right? But sometimes I feel frustrated at the people I'm talking to because, like, why does this have to, you know, be such a hard thing to, you know, you need help, you know, you could be doing better in life, like, why are you pushing it away? It's like me feeling frustrated with my ineffectiveness in dealing with the resistance from the other person. And I don't think I'm expressing it, but I know it's there. Like, I could feel it within me. And
how do you release out of the resistance? Is that the question?
Yeah,
Resentment, not the
resentment,
not the resistance.
yeah.
But it's ownership also. It's personal responsibility. Yeah. So think about the forgiveness practice that I teach. Part of the way that I do it differently is this idea of, like, not only are we forgiving others, but we're forgiving ourselves for our role in it, because that allows us to see what we could have done differently. Okay?
Right.
That allows us to really articulate for ourselves in the process of needing to forgive ourselves how we are responsible for the outcome, you know, cause and effect, 100% responsible for our results. And when you do that, when you take the personal responsibility and forgive yourself, you stop beating yourself up. So the resentment is actually you beating yourself up. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, because that's what I meant when I was talking about, I think I feel angry with myself for not being effective.
The antidote to this is to go back, like the last several calls, and write down what you could have done differently. Okay? And I did this for a long time. If and when I am doing sales, I would keep doing this because this is how you better your best. I used to have to sit down, pen to paper, or write it in my spreadsheet so that, like, I really saw it. Now I can just do it in my head and be like, yep, that's where you dropped the ball.
Right.
But there's still a benefit to writing it out, and not just like what you didn't do well, but how you would do it differently. So the objection is this, they said this. What I could have done is I could have seeded this concept earlier. Okay, I could have spoken to this at this stage. Like, and you'll see the answers, okay? And if you don't, you bring it to our call. But when you ask the question, you'll start seeing the answers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then if you still need to, you do the forgiveness practice. But that process of articulating what went wrong, what would you do differently kind of thing, is what steps you out of the resentment. Because the resentment is just there like, this isn't working, right? It's blaming others and blaming yourself. And to get out of that, it's really the personal responsibility piece, and that requires clarity. Yeah.
Right. But as you said, it's personal responsibility, but minus self-flagellation. It's more like productive personal responsibility.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, like, because I'll go into the whole, I suck, I'm this, I'm never going to get that, you know, like, I mean, I don't go that far into the hole because I know that's not serving me.
Yeah.
But I can feel myself slipping in that direction at times. I definitely need to do that more. Something else came into my head, and then it just flipped out. Oh, yeah. I think it's just more of the same. It's me feeling like I'm just riding the wave, right? Like at times I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this. It's good, and you know, and then other times I just feel like, oh my God, you know, I feel like there's so many things I need to get good at the same time. I think that's part of where I get a little bit of the overwhelm, you know, like.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
And here's the thing that I want to share with you is not to dismiss the overwhelm or dismiss the like, oh my God, I got to learn this and I got to learn this and I got to learn this. But the sooner you can get to this is the way the game is played, the better. Like, really listen to this. The old way is I study for the test, I check that off my list, and then I study for the next module for the test, right? And it's very linear in school. And that's how we're trained. And in business, it's not like that. You have to do a bunch of things at once. Now, do you want to splatter? No, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't. You really, 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 really don't. However, there's always going to be more than one thing that you need to get good at. And it doesn't stop. Right now, you're at that beginning stage where there's a lot of new things that you are learning: sales, marketing, enrollment, like onboarding,
product
all
creation,
of that. And all of it.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the first time you've done something like this. So it feels overwhelming. Plus, it's the beginning of being a business owner. So you don't know that it's always like this. So you think it shouldn't be like this. And the expectation is that it shouldn't be like this. Therefore, your happiness goes down and your overwhelm goes up. The expectation is it's always like this. Game on. Okay? Bring it on. And I want to be super, super clear. It's when you have that perspective, law of relativity, that you actually step out of the overwhelm rather than that there's less work somehow. Does that make sense?
Right. No, it does make sense. I think what really hit me was the point about this, the needing to do and learn and bootstrap, various things simultaneously. That is the right way. Like, that is the way it works. And so if I have that expectation that it doesn't change the quantity of, things I need to attend to, but I don't have this emotional overlay of, oh, this must be wrong. This is further evidence that I'm it up. And that emotional overlay is more of what causes the sense of overwhelm than the actual thing. Right?
Correct. And I want to be super, super clear. It's not like there isn't always more work. Okay? Think of it this way.
Yeah.
The universe is always giving you exactly what you need to grow into more of your potential. So by definition, there's always going to be more, which is great if you have the game on perspective, if you're willing to step forward into it. Now, that doesn't mean you don't change anything, right? Like, I'm constantly, adding new aspects to what we do in this business, and that's requiring more of me in different areas. Does that mean that I keep doing everything I used to do? No. You have to fire yourself up. You have to delegate. You have to delete or eliminate stuff, right? You don't want to not take responsibility for adjusting your workload in order to take on the new stuff. I just want that to be clear for you, because otherwise you are in legitimate overwhelm because there's only 24 hours in the day. But the perspective shift is the big thing that, like, right now your perspective is it should be different, and yet the sooner you can recognize that it will never be different. Okay?
Right.
It just won't. If you have a growth mindset and you want to grow your business, it will never be different. You might decide, I don't want to grow my business, I want to grow my life over here, and that's where the new challenges are. Okay? But there's always going to be that growth edge, for sure.
Tension in the growth.
Exactly. Embrace it.
No, exactly. It's also like a waste of energy to be fighting it. It's like, surrender to it. Embrace it is even better, but at minimum, surrender to it. So no, this is super helpful. It's the perspective shift. That's what I needed.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I love it. Okay,
Take
care.
All right, I'll keep going.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Just as I promised at the start of the episode, here is the link to download the PDF of this process that I outlined to move easily from resentment back into flow again. You can find it at theunstoppablewoman.com/E295. E for episode 295. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/E295. You can also find that in the show notes. And I highly recommend that you download this PDF, then listen to the episode again to follow along and take some notes. Let me know how you plan to apply this to your life and your business. And thanks for listening. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us for Coaching Uncut. If you loved what you learned today, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love a thumbs up or a 5-star review, so thank you in advance for that. And if you want to take your life and your business to the next level and it's time to scale, please reach out to us and schedule a consult at theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. See you in the next episode. Rock it out and be unstoppable.